Am I audible? Now I must be audible. Please say yes or no. No, no, now you tell me. Still no sound. Please answer my question. Good morning. Oh, what time is it? Yes, fine, thank God. Now it's okay. Yes, fine. So, good morning to all of you and welcome to the session. I will start afresh. The Hindu Editorial Analysis for Proficiency in English. And today's editorial is all about vaccination reaching a particular milestone. Based on that particular milestone, this editorial has been written. You're going to learn about 10 to 12 words. Some of those words are script, a rollout, midst, foresight, indigenous, a leap. Today you're going to work on error location and also you're going to work on jumble, cloze test, idioms, and phrasal verbs. Besides all these, you're going to work on editorial vocabulary. Now let us go to the editorial and see how it starts and what exactly it is about. Scripting history. There's one word here, scripting. You all know the word script. What is the typical meaning of the word script? Script means the written text of a play, a film, or broadcast. Usually, when it comes to a movie, when it comes to a play, when it comes to a TV program, we use the word script. But here, you should not isolate the word script or scripting. You have to read completely. Scripting history. What does it mean? Achieving a milestone. It is something like you have done something great and you have achieved or accomplished something great. And based on that, you have written history. So that's the meaning of that particular expression. And what is the main idea of this editorial? India must not lose sight of the goal of vaccinating all eligible adults by year end. On the one hand, this editorial appreciates and writes about achieving a particular milestone or reaching a milestone. On the other hand, it reminds of a particular goal, the goal of vaccinating all eligible adults by year end. We have a goal. The government of India has set a goal to vaccinate all adults by year end. This is almost the last week of October. We still have 2 months, and when you look at the percentage, perhaps 33% or 35%, still a long way to go. So, based on that, in a way, it is a reminder there's a goal to vaccinate all the adults by the end of this year. That means December. We have only about 2 months, 2 months plus about a week or so. Now, India must not lose sight of, there's an important expression, don't lose sight of. That means what? Don't lose your focus. This talks about, in a way, it is a reminder because there is one helping verb, must. What is the meaning of the word must? Must has got two functions. One, it is used to express a personal obligation. The other function of the word must, it is used to convey the idea something is compulsory. India must not lose sight, means India should not or must not lose a focus. And what is the focus should be on what? The goal. What is his goal? The goal of vaccinating all eligible adults by year end. We have about 2 months and a week. India scripted, but what is a stimulus to write this editorial? There should be some reason, some stimulus. Now he talks about that. India scripted history on Thursday with its COVID 19 vaccine doses administered crossing the 1 billion mark. This is a milestone. Crossing 1 billion mark is a milestone. And based on that, that is the stimulus. Based on that, the editorial has been written. At the same time, a reminder about the goal to vaccinate all adults by year end. India scripted history on Thursday. Whenever you see the time that goes into the past, do remember it should be in past tense. So here, India scripted history that is in past on Thursday with its COVID 19 vaccine doses administered crossing 1 billion mark. Now, the number of doses, if you look at the number of doses administered, the number has crossed the 1 billion mark. That is a milestone. Accomplishment. Accomplish is a positive word. It has a positive connotation. It means what? To achieve something great. Accomplished in just about 9 months. And what is the time that has been taken to achieve or cross 1 billion mark? 9 months after the vaccination program rollout on January 16. This particular program, vaccination program rollout, it was started on Jan 16, and rollout. There's one important expression. What is the meaning of the word or the phrasal verb roll out? Officially launch or introduce a product or a service or a program. In this context, it is a program. This program was rolled out on January 16th, Jan to October, 9 months. In 9 months, just about 9 months, it could cross 1 billion mark. That is definitely an accomplishment, and it is like highly admirable and appreciable. So it starts with that on a positive note. Then something more outstanding. What is even more? We use even more to add more information and also for emphasis. What is even more outstanding is a targeting of adults. Usually, what happens in any country, especially in the third world countries, vaccination program, it goes with children, it goes with kids. When it comes to vaccinating kids or children, it is not an uphill task, it is not a daunting task. It is rather easy because the parents take the responsibility. But here, for the first time in the history of the country, this talks about vaccinating adults. So it is more outstanding. What is even more outstanding is targeting of adults. Unlike the established universal immunization program, generally any country, when it comes to especially third world countries, other countries also, developed countries, we talk about immunization program. Unlike the established universal immunization program for infants and children, there is one word, infant, you all must be knowing. What is the meaning of that particular word? Infant means a baby. Based on that, you have to think of when it comes to passages, prelims or mains, they may give a passage related to female infanticide. There is a problem in the country. What is it? Female infanticide. What is this female infanticide? Infant means a baby. Infanticide. The suffix side means to kill. Infanticide is nothing but killing the babies. And when we talk about the problem of female infanticide, it is nothing but killing the female babies. So sometimes you may get a passage based on female infanticide. That way you have to become alert when you come across the word infant. So generally, immunization program goes with infants and children. Unlike is an important word. You may ask, so how is it important? When you use certain conjunctions like with, along with, together with, besides, in addition to, like, unlike, we join two subjects. Then when we use any of these, the verb agrees with the first subject. That is an important rule you have to recollect. Unlike the established universal immunization program for infants and children, India has never undertaken any massive universal adult vaccination program. This is for the first time India has taken up massive universal adult vaccination. That is not easy because vaccinating children are rather easy. It is a responsibility of the parents. They take the responsibility because they care for the kids and they get the kids immunized. But adult vaccination is a different game altogether. It is rather an uphill task. So that way it is more outstanding. India has never undertaken, and this is for the first time India has taken up adult vaccination program. India has never undertaken, this is in present perfect tense. India has never undertaken. Again, when you come across negative words, you have to recollect one particular rule. What is that rule? Imagine we start the sentence with a negative expression. Then we have to think of inversion. That means the clause should be in interrogative form, not in affirmative form. But here it is not, the sentence does not begin with a negative word, so it is in affirmative form. India has never undertaken any massive universal adult vaccination program. That this exercise involving thousands of healthcare workers and others was carried out again in the past. It is in passive voice. We carried out the program, active voice. The program was carried out by us, passive voice. Was carried out. Carry out means to execute. It's a phrasal verb. even while in the midst of a huge number of daily cases in April May during the second wave makes it even more remarkable. One more dimension on the positive side. One thing, reaching 1 billion mark. Second, dealing with adults. And third, if you guys remember, April May there was a second wave, and during the second wave and April May that time, vaccinating adults not that easy. Again, difficult. In spite of the difficulties, they could do that. So it is more remarkable. This again talks about something positive, that this exercise involving thousands of healthcare workers and others. So how did they execute this particular program related to vaccination of adults with the help of thousands of healthcare workers and others, was carried out even while in the midst of a huge number of daily cases in April May during the second wave makes it even more remarkable, beyond any doubt. No second thoughts about that. At the time of second during the second wave and during April, May, achieving something like this or executing something like this, definitely remarkable. There's one important word over here. In the midst, there's a phrase. Do remember it's an important phrase. And what is the meaning of the word midst? In the middle of. In the middle of a huge number of daily cases, they executed or carried out vaccination program. That is even more remarkable. It became possible only because how could they achieve something like this? Now, editorial talks about the reasons behind, the people behind, the companies behind. It became possible only because talked about the reason. Vaccine manufacturers. So how could they do it? How could they carry out? How could they execute vaccination program with the help of thousands of healthcare workers because of vaccine manufacturers? When we talk about vaccine manufacturers in our country, definitely two names pop up. They stand out. One is the Serum Institute in Pune, and the other one, Bharat Biotech in Hyderabad. It became possible only because vaccine manufacturers, the Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech, were able to ensure uninterrupted vaccine availability, even if supply was limited in the beginning. In the beginning, again, an important phrase. In the beginning, you can also use at the beginning of something. In the beginning, vaccination program or availability of vaccine was not, there was a problem. It was not freely available, and because it was the supply was limited. But over a period of time, they could bring out a lot of produce a lot of vaccines, and the government of India could achieve because of vaccine manufacturers, two of them, the Serum Institute and Bharat Biotech, were able to ensure. Initially, they had the hiccups. There is one important expression: initial hiccups. Means what? When you start something very difficult, when you start something for the first time, initially you may stumble, you may fumble, you may not achieve the desired results, and you may not live up to the expectations. But it is quite natural. Same thing happened to these two organizations, but eventually they were able to ensure uninterrupted vaccine without any interruption, uninterrupted vaccine availability, even if supply was limited in the beginning. That's okay, that should not be considered. If the Serum Institute had the foresight to begin manufacture in advance, Bharat Biotech's capability to quickly develop an indigenous vaccine with the ICMR ensured that India did not have to endlessly wait for vaccine supplies from other countries. Because of these two organizations, what happened? One, based on foresight of Serum Institute. What is the meaning of it is like starting trouble? Foresight, the ability to judge correctly what is going to happen in future. You visualize the future, you judge properly what is going to happen in future. Then we use the word foresight. If the Serum Institute had the foresight to begin manufacture in advance, that in a way good step. And Bharat Biotech's capability to quickly develop an indigenous vaccine. Indigenous is an important word. It means what? Originating or occurring naturally in a particular place, or you can also use a simple word like native. Generally, the word indigenous goes with people. Indigenous people means local people. It also goes with industries, indigenous industries. When we talk about multinational companies, MNCs, we have to talk about indigenous companies, onset of influx of MNCs. What is the negative impact? Indigenous companies get wiped out, usually. Exceptions are always there. So when we say indigenous companies or local industries, when we talk about the original inhabitants of a particular place or a country, then also we use the word indigenous. Indigenous people means the native people of a particular country or a particular region. So, Bharat Biotech's capability to quickly develop an indigenous vaccine with the ICMR ensured that India did not have to wait endlessly. India did not have to endlessly wait for vaccine supplies from other countries. So, because of these two organizations, we could achieve that 1 billion mark, one thing, though there were initial hiccups. And also another advantage, India did not have to endlessly wait for supplies from other countries. If there was hesitancy initially, even among healthcare workers, initially people were skeptic. What is the meaning of the word skeptic? Skeptic means to doubt something, and it is a noun. He is a skeptic. Skepticism, again the noun form, but skeptic goes with person, skepticism, the noun form. Doubting everything. And hesitancy. You doubt something, you hesitate. If there was hesitancy initially, even among healthcare workers also, they were also hesitant to take the vaccine, who were the first to be eligible to receive the vaccines. That deadly second wave led to a huge leap in vaccine uptake. Initially, people were not willing to take the vaccine, they were rather hesitant. They were in two minds whether to take or not to take. But later, what happened? Second wave led to a huge leap, the deadly second wave. Then people must have thought, no, no, it is advisable to take the vaccine. So it led to a huge leap in vaccine uptake. That means taking the vaccine. Leap, that's an important word. Jump or spring a long way to a great height or with great force. Generally, the word leap goes with animals. Frogs leap, and it also goes with individuals. A leap. He has taken a leap means what? A long jump. In this context, it means increase, surge. We have got the word surge many a time. Leap or increase, sudden increase in vaccine uptake. People started taking the vaccine. Vaccination was opened up to all priority groups and to everyone above 18 years before the second wave peaked in early May. So, second wave peaked in early May. Before that, vaccination was opened up to all priority groups, not at random. It was rather selective, all priority groups and to everyone above 18 years, and before the second wave peaked in early May. Yes, you have to recollect leap year, that is one, and also one idiomatic expression. The growth, when you talk about growth, we use idiomatic expression. The city is growing by leaps and bounds, means rapidly. India could have probably reached, this is an important expression, and this goes with past conditional. Generally, past conditional we use would, but do remember sometimes we use might, sometimes we use could in place of would. These are exceptions. It talks about a past possibility. India could have probably reached this grand milestone, an important event, earlier, had time not been wasted in asking states to procure vaccines directly from the two manufacturers at a higher cost to vaccinate the 1844 age group. It got delayed to some extent. Based on that, the editorial says this could have been avoided, or India could have achieved this particular milestone, important achievement or accomplishment earlier had time not been wasted. Here, you have to think of past conditional. What are the tenses or what is a pattern that goes with past conditional? Main clause we use would plus have plus verb past participle. Sometimes we use could or might. And if clause, we should use past perfect tense. But there's one important aspect you have to recollect. If you use the word if, then past perfect should be in affirmative. If you drop the word if, then past perfect should be in interrogative. Here, you don't see the word if, it has been dropped. So, past perfect tense is not in affirmative, it is in interrogative. Had time not been wasted, time had not been wasted, had time not been wasted, this is interrogative. India could have probably reached this grand milestone earlier. We could have saved a few months had time not been wasted in asking states to procure vaccines directly from the two manufacturers at a higher cost to vaccinate 18 to 44 age group. Initially, it was the onus, the responsibility was on the states to procure. I think we have got this word. Procure means what? Obtain something, especially with care or effort. A big company always there's a separate department, procurement department. Government also. Procure vaccines directly from the two manufacturers at a higher cost to vaccinate the 1844 age group. Later, the center changed the stand and the center said it would buy the vaccines directly. While basking in glory, this is an important expression. Usually it goes with sun, getting exposed to sun. There's one important word here, basking. Basking means to get exposed to sun. But basking in glory means enjoying the limelight, be in the limelight, enjoy the limelight, and enjoy the success. While basking in glory, it is important not to lose sight of the bigger goal. Again, here the editorial reiterates the main idea. What is it? Reminding the goal. We have a goal. What is a goal? Vaccinating all the adults by the end of this year. So it talks about the same. Now we have reached a milestone, 1 billion mark. That is like glory, that is like success. While basking in glory, it is important not to lose sight, not to lose a focus of the bigger goal. What is the bigger goal over here? Right now we have of vaccinating all eligible adults by the year end. Same idea is being reiterated. Even as vaccine supply is increasing, the pace of the vaccination drive has to be speeded up to meet the objective. There are two dimensions. One is a production, manufacture. The other, the pace of the vaccination. Imagine we have a lot of vaccines, but they're not being administered. Then the purpose is defeated. Even as vaccine supply is increasing, beyond any doubt, the pace, there's an important word. Pace means the speed. The pace of the vaccination drive has to be speeded up to meet the objective. Two things should go hand in hand. And what are the two things which should go hand in hand? One is manufacturing the vaccine, the supply should be there, uninterrupted supply. The other one, vaccination, vaccinating adults, that also should be speeded up. If over 75% of the eligible adults have already been vaccinated with one dose, now we have a problem. What is that problem? 75%, that's substantial percentage. If over 75% of the eligible adults have already been vaccinated with one dose, the proportion of adults who are fully vaccinated is only 31%. Then the number comes down drastically. 75% one dose, but fully vaccinated, that means the two doses, only 31%, almost 70%, it is like they haven't got the second shot. Since vaccination with two doses is necessary. Here, now of late, the new trend, yesterday also I was watching news, many people are neglecting the second dose, it seems. The number of those who are neglecting the second dose, the number is going up. That is not a good thing. Since vaccination with two doses is necessary, the second dose is also indispensable. But people think we have taken the first dose. Now, vaccine, this virus, it is not a dangerous thing. People don't talk about that. Why should we go for the second dose? They tend to relax. That is not a good thing. Since vaccination with two doses is necessary to increase the protection level, effort should be directed at increasing the pace of second dose vaccination. At this juncture, in the present scenario, this is very important. What is important? Focusing on the second dose, that is one thing. Also, increasing the pace. Pace means speed. Increasing the speed or pace of second dose vaccination. At this stage, we should not relax. That is very important. Now, it gives the example of China. China has already administered over 2.2 billion doses and fully vaccinated over 75% of the eligible population, even by mid September. Fully vaccinated 75% of the eligible population, even by mid September. Crossing the 1 billion mark became possible as India stopped the export of vaccines. One more reason, already the editorial you have read, I have read rather, we have seen, because of the manufacturers, two organizations, That is one reason for achieving 1 billion mark. Here, editorial talks about another factor, an important factor. Crossing the 1 billion mark became possible as India stopped the export of vaccines, impacting most low and middle income countries. Initially, India promised to supply the vaccines to low and middle income countries, but when we did not have enough number of vaccines, then it had to stop that, and the priority shifted to within the country, not exporting. So, crossing the 1 billion mark became possible as India stopped the export of vaccines. Initially, they thought of exporting, they promised, but later they had to stop because the domestic demand surged. Impacting, what is the impact of that? Impacting most low and middle income countries. On October 14, nearly 6 months after halting exports, India finally supplied vaccines to four countries. For some time, it had to stop export of vaccines, but on October 14, nearly 6 months after halting exports, after stopping exports, India finally supplied vaccines to four countries. Further supplies will depend on production and demand. If they want to continue, then they have to depend on two factors. One is production, and the other demand from other countries. It is imperative. Imperative means what? Of vital importance or crucial that vaccine production is quickly ramped up to meet the demand. Ramp up, we have got many a time. What is the meaning of ramp up? Increase the level or amount of something sharply. Increase the production in this context. How does it end? Any more delay in meeting international obligations will greatly hurt India's credibility as a reliable vaccine supplier to the global south. Now, this talks about the position of India, the role of India, the image of India, and credibility of India. Any more delay in meeting international obligations. India promised to export the vaccines. Now it is like an obligation. But if they delay, any more delay in meeting international obligations will greatly hurt India's credibility. Credibility, an important expression, credible. From this, you get the word credible, believable. What is opposite? Incredible, unbelievable. Credibility, the quality of being trusted and believed in. A particular company has credibility, you trust that company. A particular country has credibility, you trust that country. So here it talks about any more delay in meeting international obligations will greatly hurt India's credibility as a reliable vaccine supplier for the global south. Global south, the countries in the southern region, and India promised to supply the vaccine to those countries. If they delay further, then credibility, the image of the country takes a beating, and it may hurt India's credibility as a reliable vaccine supplier. So it ends on that particular note. Overall, in a nutshell, this is all about achieving the 1 billion mark. On the one hand, that is something highly remarkable, a milestone. On the other hand, it is a reminder that there's a particular goal, specific goal. What is that goal? We have to completely vaccinate the two doses, 100% vaccination, all the adults by the year end, and we are left with 2 months and 1 week to achieve that particular. And as of now, the percentage is only 31%. Almost 70% they have to get the second dose, definitely. An important editorial, do remember, because of the impact, devastating impact of COVID 19, today, this year, you have a lot of exams still, and next year also, I'm sure, passage, close test, para jumble, or when it comes to descriptive English as well, definitely they're going to touch COVID 19 and the virus, the impact of the virus. You should have the information about this, touching all the dimensions. Impact of the virus on economy, impact of the virus on the health sector, impact on kids, impact on education, impact on adults. Every dimension should be at your fingertips. Then you can answer many questions effortlessly. Now let us go to the editorial, and based on the editorial, what are the possible questions? What is this editorial about? I suggest, I recommend rather, please write about this editorial. It's an achievement, accomplishment, 1 billion mark. India must not lose sight of what? The last word is a question word. India must not lose sight of something, and what is that? Why did not India have to endlessly wait for vaccine supplies from other countries. I have read out, we have seen the analysis. Two companies are responsible for that, and that you have to mention. What is necessary to increase the protection level? Something is important to increase the protection level. Again, easy to answer, and there are two doses. The second dose is also indispensable. Only if the person takes a second dose, the level of protection gets increased. How did crossing the 1 billion mark become possible? How did it become possible crossing 1 billion mark? You have to mention the reasons. You can answer all these, should not be that difficult. Impact of COVID-19 on aviation industry, definitely, because who is this Pritham? They may touch all the dimensions. One of the reasons it has made a tremendous impact. Aviation industry, many companies got badly affected. Tourism industry, they may touch tourism industry, aviation industry. You should be prepared. Then it becomes easy for you to answer all those questions. So please go to error location. Sentence number one: Chief Minister has directed the police and excise departments to stop illegal cultivation and consumption of ganja with an iron hand. So, where is the error? Prasad has answered. Chief Minister has directed. Which tense is that? Present perfect. And if any time phrase, then we cannot use. There is no time phrase, but it talks about something that happened in the past. Obviously, we have to use present perfect tense. Chief Minister has directed the police and excise departments to stop illegal cultivation and consumption of ganja with an iron hand. Any problem? No. Excise departments, nothing wrong with that. With an iron hand, nothing wrong. This is a standard expression, and also it is, yes, it is idiomatic expression. No error. Answer is no error. Please go to question number two. The number of people who have skipped the second dose of the COVID-19 vaccine, despite completing a prescribed time interval, is rapidly climbing. Question number two, where is the error? Please mention the question number, that is always better. Naga Maleshwari, first one to respond. Then I see Yashashvi, Ravi, all these students, Vishnuvardhan. The number, whenever you see the phrase the number, you should become alert. And this particular phrase takes a singular verb, a number takes a plural verb. That you have to recollect. The number of people, all these, despite completing the prescribed time interval, don't consider. The number is rapidly climbing. First, you check that one. There is no error. Subject verb agreement, no problem. But here, of people, all this is a clause that goes with the word people. People have completed. Those who have. People means those. Here, you cannot use a singular verb. It should be have. People who have skipped the second dose. We cannot say people who has. People who have skipped the second dose of the COVID-19. Please go to question number three. There is no difference between in spite of and despite. The subtle difference, I will tell about that. Despite, in spite of, both express a contrast. If at all you ask a question, what is the difference? Despite is a little more formal than in spite of. That is a difference. But function wise, there is no difference. Both express a contrast. Despite is a little more formal than in spite of. We are sure to bring out a lengthy sentence. Please read carefully. You have answered the second one. Please mention question number. That is always better, because some students answer second one, and some students answer the third one. I cannot make out. This is a lengthy sentence. You got to read very carefully. We are sure to bring out a promising solution. that will have an edge over current technologies and will go a long way towards addressing this global crisis. Nothing wrong with where is this addressing, towards addressing. Absolutely no problem. Nothing wrong with that. Sashikant Pandit says there is an error in the first part. What is that? There is an error in the first part. But what is it? Here, you should not use the verb in the basic form or infinitive. We have to say, we are sure to bring out, that is not correct. We are sure of bringing out, that is correct. To bring out, to bring, that is a basic form or infinitive. Here we cannot use a basic form. We are sure of, the verb sure, the word sure takes a preposition of. We are sure of achieving something. We are sure of going there. We are sure of doing something. We don't say we are sure to do something. That is not correct. Here, we are sure of bringing out a promising solution. Of bringing out, that is correct. And this is not an easy one. Better you sleep. Who is this Pradeep Kumar? If you feel like sleeping, please sleep. Don't watch who asked you, who forced you. Please go sleep. Have a sound sleep. Yes, it is a question of the day. Pradeep Kumar, have you heard what I said? Please do that immediately. Leave the session. Go have a sound sleep. Sleep like a log. That is better. No one is forcing you. Quite a few dwellings which lay empty now have continued to be besieged by water from last year's devastating rains during October. You got to read meticulously, only then you can spot the error. What sort of people we come across. Bring out is a phrasal verb, not an idiom. It is a phrasal verb. Yes, I think Nagamani, Nagamaleshwari, they have got it right, but you have to write the correct expression. That is important. Here, quite a few dwellings, Western countries, it has become outdated, but we still use this word over here. Dwellings, places of residence. It has many meanings. Don't dwell on the past means what? Don't think of the past all the time. Don't brood over the past. But here, quite a few dwellings. Here it is used as a noun, nothing wrong, which lay empty. Lay is not correct. Which lie empty now. Lie has got two different meanings. You have to recollect the verb. Lie can be a noun, lie can be a verb. As a verb, it can be a regular verb, lie, lied, lied. As an irregular verb, lie, lay, lain. Here, it is used as an irregular verb and it has got two different meanings. One, to be in the horizontal position while relaxing. The other one, to be in a particular state for a long time. In this context, the second meaning you have to think of. So, lie empty means to be in that empty position for a long time, which lie empty now, have continued to be besieged by water from last year's devastating rains during October. Lie is the right word. Not easy again. A lengthy sentence looks like a paragraph. Please read very carefully. Meticulous reading is required for this sentence as well. Bundles of cash amounting to 4.11 crore being transported from Hyderabad to Chennai in what the police suspect to be the handiwork of a Hawala network was seized by Chitiala police in the wee hours of Wednesday. These two questions are extremely, they depend on meticulous reading. 7:30 p.m. that is Unacademy SSC channel YouTube. Prasad, every evening 7:30 p.m. Unacademy SSC channel YouTube channel. Bundles of cash. This is an important question. Under pressure, not easy. because a lengthy sentence, and also it is based on subject verb agreement. What is the subject of this particular sentence? Bundles. Bundles, noun, and it is in the plural form. Of cash, that is a phrase, don't consider. Bundles, and from the subject to the verbs, so many words are there. Bundles, after that, of cash amounting to 4.11 crore being transported from Hyderabad to Chennai in what the police suspect to be the handiwork of a Hawala network. All these words you have to put in brackets. Then you ask a question, ask yourself, will you say bundles was or bundles were? Obviously, bundles were seized. So, what is this question about? It is about subject verb agreement. Here, you may think it's an easy question, but do remember, under pressure, while taking the exam, this is not an easy question. It becomes a tough question because you got to read the sentence very carefully and you got to be focused. Only then you can spot the error. That's very good. You got it right. Now we have a para jumble. Please read very carefully. Not an easy one because the parts are lengthy. So many words are there and six parts you got to read very carefully. When it comes to para jumble, always take the elimination approach. But cannot be the first sentence. You can end cannot be the first sentence. Now you got to look at other parts. 3 out of 5. Oh, not bad. That means the question is not easy. 2 questions difficult. Yes. If you get all the 5 correct, you're outstanding. Very simple. Fine. Yes, that is true. 1C. India's participation in a meeting of 10 nations with Taliban officials in Moscow. Very good. No, 12 noon session has been shifted to 6 p.m. special class. 6 p.m. special class. But today, 2 p.m. today and tomorrow, special class, special classes, morning to evening, Unacademy platform. My session 2 to 3. Today I have 2 sessions, free classes, special classes, 2 to 3, one session, and every day 6 p.m. special class. I started teaching grammar, free classes, English grammar. Yesterday I taught nouns. Today I'm going to teach pronouns. That also I'm going to start. What is the second one? One is C, but what is the second one? It is not F. F is not the second one. A is not the second one. Yes, yes, I will do it. YouTube Unacademy SSC channel, 7:30 p.m. 6 p.m. every day, Unacademy platform. Special classes, free classes. There I'm teaching English grammar. I started nouns, yesterday's topic, today pronoun. I'm going to teach free classes, concepts and rules. Yes, second one is E. India's participation in a meeting of 10 nations with Taliban officials in Moscow and the signing, more information with the conjunction and, the signing of a joint statement that recognizes a new reality in Afghanistan because 2 subjects are there and there's a conjunction, signal a decisive, plural verb. Thank you very much. Who is this? Fanindra. A decisive shift. So here CEF, one group. CEF, F is the next one. Signal a decisive shift in the country's approach towards the Islamist group. Now go to the fourth one. Not B, not B. It is F, CEF. I'm going to start that, Pranita. I'm going to start. I did last month, entire last month, I did holistic vocabulary, 12 noon, Unacademy platform. Now this month I'm going to focus on grammar, free classes, And next month again, first week, we have only a week or so. I'm going to start holistic vocabulary. I'll be teaching both, and these are free classes. Do remember, you don't have to pay anything. All that you have to do, you have to use my referral code, Murthy10. Then you can attend special classes on unacademy platform, and you don't have to pay. No, CEFA is the next one. India had earlier. See, recent months, then first you have to use earlier. I'm going to start Bhagam Naidu, 1 or 2 days, 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. SBI PO, IBPS PO, target. I'm going to start. Please wait for 1 or 2 days. I have a very tight schedule, hectic schedule. I'm taking some time. Yes, yes. 1 or 2 days. I know a lot of students are waiting. I'm going to do it. India had earlier, so it is A. Then contrasting information in recent months, you have to use D. And the last one, but this is the first time India met a top Taliban delegation. B is the last one. CEF1 group, A, independent sentence, and DB1 group. This is the correct order. If you have got it right, wonderful, highly appreciable. Now let us go to a short paragraph with 5 blanks, and you have to choose one of the 5 words. Said Gurukul, they stopped Ramesh. They stopped said Gurukul. I think for the time being, said Gurukul, the channel is not there. They may come up with a new channel, but I'm going to do bank related stuff on this channel, my channel, Murthy's, 9 p.m. or 9:30 p.m. I'm going to do here, not Unacademy platform. My channel I'm going to do. I know, I understand. Said Gurukul, they should have continued. They have their own reasons. We don't know the exact reason. Earlier this month, the Tata Group emerged as a winning what? Bidder. Answer is 3 for Air India. The debt-laden national carrier, an important expression as a banking aspirant. In this year's budget, the government, IBPS clerk classes, I haven't thought of that. Maybe. Now I cannot say anything. The government, what is the second one? Unveiled a bold new disinvestment policy. Policy, product, we use this word to make public, to reveal in public, to disclose, to make public. Very good. Answer is the first option. That, that what? Third one is rather easy. Envisages, very good. That envisages, visualizes a bare minimum presence of government owned businesses, even in the strategic sectors. Strategic sectors means one important, another defense related. The government is also pursuing the sale of its entire what? Fourth one, entire stake. Yes, entire stake in public sector firms such as BPCL, Shipping Corporation of India, IDBI Bank, 2 other public sector banks, and one general insurance company this financial year alone. Given India's recent disinvestment record, this is an ambitious target. You can use your grammar knowledge based on that ambitious target. Have you got all the 5 correct? Not that difficult. You should get all the 5 correct. Now let us go to phrasal verbs. You're all ambitious youth. I always use this expression when I talk to my students. Ambitious youth. You have a dream. You guys are working very hard. You're intelligent. You're diligent. And I'm sure many of you will achieve, you will be able to make your dreams come true. No, no. Which passage? This is from today's paper. This is from today's the Hindu paper. Varaprasad. This also, para jumble from today's a Hindu paper. You can cross check. And close test also from today's paper. Not even yesterday's, today's paper. So call for means what? Publicly ask for or demand. Answer is C. Call up. Call up a bit difficult. Welcome, my pleasure. Call up means an order to join a military organization. Answer is D. Call out. What is the meaning of call out? Oh, you guys are with the first one. 1C over. Two also have given the answer call up. That is the toughest one of all the five phrasal verbs. 1C is over 2D. Yes, I have written. Go to the third one. Call out. 4, 3C. C is over. Call out means asking someone for help. Call off, you all know this. Cancel, it goes with the matches, meetings. Call by, to visit for a short while. B is the answer. So call for, publicly ask for or demand, call for something. Call up means what? An order to join a military organization. This is an important one you got to remember. Not easy. And call for is also important. Call out, a bit confusing, you got to remember. Call off, everyone knows they called off the match, they called off the meeting. Call by also important. See, whenever you come across idioms or phrasal verbs, some are easy, some are difficult. Try to focus on difficult ones, spend some time, make your own examples, only then you can remember. All the five correct, that's wonderful. You should be very happy. You're good at phrasal verbs. Go to idioms, five idioms. Bear the burden. Fleeting visit, wonderful, Madhav, that's a very good expression. Fleeting visit, short visit, flying visit also we can say. There is another expression, flying visit, short visit. Bear the burden, they had to bear the burden. 1F, put up with the worst of some bad circumstance. Not exactly. No, it is not 1C. Bear the burden to endure, to withstand, to tolerate something distressing, painful, or stressful. Bear the burden, had to bear the burden. 1C. Bear the brunt. This is an important one. Bear the brunt means put up with the worst of some bad circumstance. Bad situation, bad circumstance, the worst part of it you have to face. Then you say, I had to bear the brunt, means I had to face the worst part of something. Second one, it is F, bear with, to be patient with someone or something. Please bear with me. Please bear with the delay. Please bear with the noise. Means what? Please tolerate. Answer is E. Bear testimony to support or prove a claim or idea. Here, bear testimony. Testimony from that word you can make out. A is the answer. And what is bear in mind? We also say keep in mind. Bear in mind, keep in mind. Means what? To remember, think about, or consider. D is the answer. Bear false witness. False, from that you can make out to lie about or misrepresent the truth. B is the answer. Has anyone got all the six correct? That is highly appreciable. Madhav, bear the brunt, to be at the receiving end. That is one thing beyond any doubt. But the focus should be on to receive the worst part of something. Then we use the expression bear the brunt. I'm rather curious. Has anyone got all the six correct? That is outstanding. Oh, Preetham has got, highly appreciable. Now let us go to the last slide. Editorial vocabulary. Nagamani also all six correct. Nagamaleshwari 5. That is also pretty good. You should be happy. So script, please answer quickly. Part of speech noun. What does it mean? A written text that goes with a story, a plot, a movie, any of these. Let us do quickly. It's already 7:56. 1E, roll out. Phrasal verb. Roll out means what? To make something public. Officially launch. G is the answer. I want you guys to respond quickly. 2G, very good. And Kamlesh also has got all the six. Wonderful. Thank you very much, Yashashvi. Midst, in the midst of. Midst is a preposition. In the middle of. Answer, J is the answer. Amidst or amidst both mean the same. J is the answer. Foresight, thinking of future, visualizing the future. Ability to think, judge what is going to happen in future. So H is the answer. Foresight. I think I am ahead. Now I see some students have caught up. Indigenous, adjective, an important word. Local or native, indigenous people. Leap, leapt. So it is a verb. Means what? Jump or spring a long way. Answer is C. Yes. Procure. It's a regular verb. Procure, procured, procured. Means what? Obtain something carefully after examining. It goes with the private sector and public sector organizations. Procurement department. There's a separate department. So answer B. Imperative. Noun. Eighth one. D. Of vital importance. Yes. Ramp up. Phrasal verb. Increase the production or the level of something. F is the answer. Ramp up is an important phrasal verb. You have to remember credibility. What is the credibility of someone or something? Credible, credibility, incredible means what? What are you left with? Quality of being trusted. I is the answer. These are the words from today's editorial script. Easy word. Rollout, important. Midst, easy. Foresight, easy. Indigenous, important. Leap, easy word. Procure, you got to know. It goes with effective English. Imperative, an important word. Ramp up, important. And credibility. Based on that, you can think of a lot of words. I see Nagamaleshwari says all 10 correct. That's wonderful. Sanju also. Preetham. You should, if you get all the 10 correct, you should be very happy. All these go with effective English, not that easy. So please don't ask new questions, Jagdish. I cannot answer anything related to the stuff I have brought. I'll be answering. I'll be happy to answer, in fact. That's all for today. Thanks for being with me till 7:59. Have a nice day. Do remember to subscribe and share. Join the Telegram group. All that you have to do, go to the description of the video, click on the link. You cannot do anything after that. You'll be at the receiving end, and I'll be at the giving end. I'm always at the giving end. And also, after the session, download the